gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the SimRacing Expo 2025. And now we've got an absolute treat for you. It's the SimRacing Roundtable, and they have promised not to fight each other on stage.
I made no promise.
For sure not.
I brought backup. Where is he gone?
Ryan is
Where's
here.
Ryan? actually, before we do anything, congratulations on Rally. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Honestly, I cannot wait. I'm look, we're fans first, and then we get to make our dreams come true by making games like this. So
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That was the olive branch that got
I'm off.
You're not needed.
he's a very good-looking man, isn't he? I can't.
I think we're going to talk about SimRacing eventually.
All right.
I think that the very best miracle we ever made in the Kunos history has been to keep the secret about Rally because it's running now by more than 4 years, and any rumors never came out. So possibly this is the very best thing that at Kunos we made ever.
Well, before we do, let's actually introduce the gentleman here. We've already started, which is fantastic. We've got Greg here from iRacing, we've got Marco from Kunos, we've got Kevin from Straightforward, and we've got Morris from Rennsport. Guys, simple question really. How do you feel sim racing is in 2025?
Well, look at this crowd. I was talking to the organizers earlier, and they're having to turn people away at the door because of fire code. So over 20,000 people here today, watching how much this has grown in the last, I've been coming here, I think this is my 6th year, and seeing all of the new hardware manufacturers, the OG hardware manufacturers, and seeing how much it's grown, and all the peripherals that allow people like these to interact with our software. It just makes it better for everybody. I think that's the state of what's going on.
To me, it looks like we are at the Gamescom. And it's great because plenty of people and all these guys are presenting some new EPs and games. That is something that requires a huge, big effort from any point of view. And looking at all these companies, including us, are using the game, the Sim Expo, to promote and present these new IPs, I think that to me is the proof that how the Sim Expo is growing in a quite impressive way. So really congrats for that, because we know that there is a huge work behind that, and to us is the best possible platform to meet the community, the users, the B2B companies, to get feedback from the users. And from a personal perspective, you know, internet is quite a different place. So that sometimes you hear only feedback from a very little niche of users. When you meet all the people here, you don't just shake hands and so on, but you can also understand better what people want, what people ask, and the great passion that there is behind is this is not called anymore hobby. Is a passion, is a business, is a very big interest. So we are so proud and honored to be here.
Wow. That was... well, first up, let's congratulate Michael and all of your team, because look at it this way. What can we say? Outside of Gamescom, what other genre of games has this, right? Passion.
It's right there.
That's exactly it. Passion, right? We're making a sport, guys. That's the way I try to look at this, right? We all have our own levels and we're doing it, but to me, this is a sport. So I want to bring kids in, I want us to grow, and looking at what we've seen today and the level of both young and old it's brilliant. It's more than I imagined. I thought we'll be hearing maybe about 4 or 5 other people, and it's just, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing as someone who sits at home and works, and you know what I mean, broke the haptics on our rigs and then blamed everyone else because I get to do that. And I'm looking around going, it's just amazing to be here and to see it and to see everybody enjoying themselves. And we've got, what, this year is just amazing. Look at, we've got You's coming out 2 weeks before us.
Yes.
Rally. Yeah, I can't actually wait for that. Right. Colin McRae Rally was one of my one of the games that made me want to race. If anybody understands, we all had that one game or that one moment where we said in our lives, "This is what I want to do for a living." Yeah. And then I evolved to playing Assetto Corsa. Shouldn't say that out loud, considering, what I'm making. And then Rally announced. I think it's going to be great for our sport. I really do.
I just can follow with all what you said. So I know Michael since more than 25 years. So I just can say thanks for really making all that happen. Thanks to your wife as well, because she's a big part of that. It's unbelievable. You never give up. So you pushed like hell when the times were not that good, to be honest. And seeing you with this success is just a great thing, to be honest. Thanks a lot for that. And I remember the days when we both were at really... When we were at our first Gamescom in Leipzig, and what I see here is a bit what I felt at this day. So that was incredible. Something started. There was something new. There was so much energy. And the best thing is there came so many manufacturers and people together, and you felt you need that energy to grow a segment. And it's really time to bring sim racing out of this limited segment, and then that's great. And things really, let me say some things on top. Why I'm doing Rennsport is because there's iRacing, there's Assetto. I love racing, and we all know it took time to establish a new brand. And what you have done over decades, it's just impressive, to be honest. And it's hard for us to follow. It will be a long way, but hopefully we can make it to that stage as well. So it's just to be great here, and it's just good to see that.
Just to confirm, we didn't pay any of you guys, right? Just
No.
No, I was told that you're slipping it afterwards.
okay, copy that. You guys have been around a long time in the gaming industry, some of you longer than others, but what have you learned over the last 10 years that have got you to this point?
I'll pass it down that way.
Should I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's do it like this.
I have learned that today we talk a lot about AI, which is really not that easy to implement into development, to be really honest. Also, I have learned we have to kind of scale the market, going to console or do other things, because production costs are so high, really. 50% of the cost we invest is just for cars and racetracks, so really the content. So there we have to find better ways to be more efficient in the industry, to make really more better products at the end for the audience. So, and to integrate and be open for esport and other stuff. So that's important, really bringing things together. And I think, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, wow, that was a great answer.
Sorry, the answer was more regarding the development.
He got the plug-in for his console game, so he did there. Did anyone else notice? Well, look, I'm a nerd at first and foremost, and a programmer, okay? And I think that the level that console is coming to right now, this is my plug for my game, by the way, is coming that we can now start to simulate physics at the same level on console as you can on a PC. Okay, the barrier is getting less and less, but that's not what I've learned over the last 10 years. Over the last 10 years, what it is, I personally feel, is, I'm going to say the word community, but what it is the community. It's actually, there is so much more, a game used to be traditionally, you made the game, you put it out there, and let the chips lie. Now it's about bringing it out there and letting the community say what it is they want, how to bring it back, and taking that feedback and iterating on it and helping. Yeah? And I think that's why with us, with the mod hub that we're doing, and why we partnered with the likes of Giants, is because we ain't going to give you everything that you want, but you can come along with content creators and different mod teams, etc., and build that. And that's what we've learned. And we know the youths have had very good success with that too. So I feel over the last 10 years that our communities has grown, and the feedback that we get, and that the world out there and the internet and everything is just a little bit smaller, and it's all a bit quicker to get these things. And it's just going to make all of our games better. So it is.
What I have seen more in the last 10 years, sorry for my voice is gone already, is that today, as I was saying before, sim racing is a sport. Is a sport. And people who engage the sport, I mean, the sim racers, also the producers of hardware and so on, consider it as a physics sport. I don't talk anymore about virtual motorsport and real motorsport, because the virtual motorsport, except for car damages, cost, or physical involvement, is exactly the same. Sim racing is the only video game where actually the player behaves exactly like the real driver. It's something that doesn't happen with a FIFA, with a Call of Duty, with any other kind of game. And what we have seen in the last 10 years is that the level of the competition in terms of preparation, skill of the drivers is grown so much. And the proof is that the level of the hardware you find today. 10 years ago, having this kind of hardware solutions would have been possible. Today is like when I approached the expo the very same day, I felt like when you go on Netflix and you spend the night just trying to choose what you're going to watch, and eventually you go to sleep because it's too late. I mean, if today I should have to choose a steering wheel or a simulator, I will struggle because there are so many great solutions that are all valid. And it's the same for the software. People sometimes believe that, the users believe that we hate each other, that we fight, and so on. 3 weeks ago, when I heard about the NASCAR 25 launch, I wrote a mail to Steve Myers to congrats, because actually is something that is part of the racing world, but having a specific game simulation specific for the IndyCar and for the NASCAR is quite amazing, because it reminds me at the time of NASCAR 2003. I was a huge fan, even if I'm Italian, NASCAR is not so popular, but it was just great. And NASCAR 2003, exactly like Grand Prix Legends or other games, are the reason why I am here and I do this job today. I feel really special to be part of it, because it's not a video gaming anymore. We have been with our office into the Vallelunga racetrack in Italy. I mean, we have our studio that was located in the facility in the middle of the track by 2008 to 2016. And I can't tell you how much we struggle through the years to let the real motorsport actors to understand that, okay, it's not the real motorsport, but it's not a game. And they say to us for years, for decades, oh yes, it's nice, a nice game, but real motorsport is a different matter. It's not a different matter anymore. Because today, the real drivers spend thousands and thousands of hours on the simulators. And the young generations don't come anymore from the karting, but from the simulators. So it's 100% a pure sport. And to me, this is what changed so much in the last 10 years. Sorry to be a bit...
If you don't mind, he made a really great point. It's a sport, but it's also, he said there about the software. So we put out our game, and we can call it a platform. And we put out our telemetry, and the amount of telemetry software and apps that are out there that people have been making to help improve, and it shows real passion from the people and the community that's there. I was talking to guys from Studio 66, and they're with you guys. They have 100,000 people using that app on iRacing, and I think it's amazing to see. Yeah, and that's what we want to be contributing to. Yeah, we're just part of a really big ecosystem, so we are.
Yeah. Well, to double down on all that, I think community. Anybody that's talked to me this week has heard me say the word community. That's our big thing right now, whether it's in special events or here. But I want to go back. I have a great story. Motorsport Games of Valencia last year. There's a photo of us, the iRacing and the Kunos guys, standing on chairs watching the final lap, and they're all of us like this, and it just, I mean, in a line, and it was a really cool moment, a really cool photo, and I have it on my desk at home, and it lets you know, like, yes, there's much more community, not just here, but here. There's a great exchange of ideas. It's pushing people forward, not just on the track, but to develop, what is next. And I think that's something that, you'll continue to see as, Moore's Law continues to be a thing.
Yeah.
If we take it in a different direction, I think one of the lessons we've learned and we're adapting to it is stay true to yourself. Stay true to what software you're developing. Don't try to be everything to everybody because you will fail everybody.
Create a vision, follow your vision. So
Yeah.
this is the only way. Really.
Yeah, and how to find that balance between providing, current feature sets that, your membership or your users want and need in the short term, while also balancing, how to balance that innovation and moving forward to provide things that maybe they don't even know they want.
Yet.
And so I think finding the balance between all of that is one of the lessons I think is the hardest to learn, and took some time and took some missteps and mistakes along the way. Some of them public, some of them not so. But where we landed today, and I think you're seeing that now. Obviously we're expanding out in the console space and realizing that we have a very dedicated hardcore sim racing audience. But how do we, as you said, grow from this niche into the more mainstream? And you're going to see that now that consoles have become more powerful and you're able to do more things with them. And with the NASCAR 25 title, IndyCar, really excited about that as an open wheel nerd. And then iRacing Arcade, which is just out of left field for a lot of people. But getting more people into this ecosystem and seeing how amazing this community is, whether it is from software developers, hardware developers, third-party apps that complement everything that's being done, and the people behind the wheel on a daily basis.
Wow, some good answers there, guys. So AI has become a huge part of just everyday life, right? In every aspect of our lives. How do you see AI improving sim racing development?
Going back across the board. I mean, this is such a loaded question right now. We have a press release out. We're obviously investigating AI. I don't think that everybody knows completely. I think what you're going to see are more opportunities to make these experiences more immersive. Whether that is by, an AI-powered crew chief that's going to help people that may not have an engineering degree be able to set up their cars a little bit better. Whether it is, I was talking to some folks today, the AI race engineer that's going to be able to give better advice, when the rain's coming, where the rain's coming, things like that. There's a variety of directions that can come. I think anybody would be remiss to say that they know exactly how it is going to impact things long term. I can say that we're actively at the research stage and seeing what the opportunity set is. I think it's used responsibly is going to make things a lot better, a lot more immersive, and really just help us try to accomplish and continue to move the bar and the level of sim racing forward.
I use it to work at my place so I can ride my bike, so it works quite well, the AI. No, it's quite impressive what the level we are reaching and the progression the AI is doing. I think that in the future it could be used also for the AI competitors. That today, as I was saying before, is really challenging to program an AI driver that can compete and behave like a real driver. I think that in a few years we could have some network system with AI, so that when you play, even in single player, you could take advantage of the progression that AI is doing in terms of evaluating the way how you can drive, you can overtake, and so on. It's quite too early at the moment because of the lag that you would have, that just 1/10 of a second means 10 meters, 20 meters, so it's not usable yet. I would like to see in the future that you can play against the computer, but not with a single AI algorithm, but with an AI that is quite complex, and can take advantage of the neural network. We also made some R&D activity in Kunos. We saw that it is a bit too early for that. But I believe that in the future it could be also get this kind of application also for the driving and for the training of the real driver.
So I think it's our responsibility to make sure that our games are accessible so that we can spit out as much data as we possibly can when it comes to telemetry and feedback, so that we can allow AI and allow people to actually understand what they can use it for. My focus is to make the best game, and I'm going to call it kind of a platform possible for that to be achieved. When it comes to AI with development, where I see future is with scanning on tracks and changes that are there and using photogrammetry and everything else to be able to try and feed back in, that this track has changed since the last time you did it, to be able to help us understand the flaws that we have. So one example I was given, it was we were driving around and our cornering is too fast on the high-speed turns on Nordschleife. And yeah, you probably had it too. Yeah, he's sitting there going, I've been there. Young Padawan, be careful.
I've heard this story before.
Yes, so we're like trying to now feed the telemetry to try and figure out what it is. And yeah, you know, there's tools. There's a lot of things that AI will improve upon, and you know, our responsibility is to keep that data there, keep giving it out to the communities, take the feedback and be receptive to what comes. And as it says, all ships rise in a rising tide, so we just have to be open to that.
Yeah, just can follow to all what's said. AI, you can see it in different ways. So when it comes to developing, when it comes to content production, and also when it comes, how does it, what you said, bring to the customer in-game, so when it comes to technical stuff, support, and so on. So what I deeply believe is with all the data we have from the drivers, we can make AI drivers better. We can make, I would say, a single player feeling more customized at the end of the day. So we get rid of what I ever hate in gaming, the pre-scripted shit at the end of the day. This will happen, and this will create a much better experience for all of us. So this is a thing we will see within the next 1 or 2 years for sure. So really when it comes to development, or what I would love to see, progression in content production, so scanning things and really bringing it into the game. This will take a bit, I think. So what I see, there are a lot of good ideas, but they're, especially on our side, I don't know what you have, but we cannot really use it at the moment. So it really do not help us. So the game we have at the moment, we will release in November. This is really handmade, so there is no AI in there. Maybe the last game we do in this way, but things will change, and you see it in the whole industry. Big companies lay off people, reducing the stuff, so they all do not have the final feeling where it goes. So we will see what happened there, but I think it will take a bit of time. Yeah.
I think that's a brilliant point you made. I know I'm meant to be up here plugging, but for me, I just look like this is like a brain trust, and I'm really enjoying like vibing. We all run our studios, so we have responsibilities to our people and our staff, and I really think that was the best and the most honest answer. Yeah, you're saying, hey, we're not going to look at this now because we're not going to try and replace people with AI. And I think that's one of the things that's been happening a lot in the games industry, is these bigger companies coming along and thinking that they can replace people with bots. They can't replace passion, commitment, and they just can't. An AI is never going to be able to do that on a production level. An AI is never going to be able to sit there and look at the track and go, that's not just how it feels. It's just data. It's never had that feeling of going over it. Like this man was telling us yesterday about, your motorbikes. And the doctor turned around and said to him, at your age, that he has to, with your knees, you'll have to replace your motor, you might have to stop with the motorbikes. And he turned around and says, no, actually, I'll just replace my doctor. So,
right, exactly.
So it's important that, AI is a good tool. And it should be a good tool, but what it should never be is replacing people.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Terminator.
But to be honest, it will happen.
Don't shake my hand as you say
no,
that.
No. But it will create new jobs for sure.
Yeah,
And
that's just
creativity
it.
you cannot make with AI. So and passion also not.
Yes.
And this is what you need to do products like this. So it's clear.
I feel that anyway, Terminator is just around the corner because the way how we are seeing the progression of the AI is quite terrific. In some way, I'm a bit sad to say that to see that some professionals are getting replaced by the AI. I see, for example, that there are a lot of tools today to create NPC graphics characters that are an artistic job, that need not just the skill to use 3D Studio Max and so on, but need also some artistic value. And the AI is flattening the way how we are looking to the quality, because they are quite effective, but it's not human. So also in terms of content, I see that they are AI generated. We see that there is flattening on what we are seeing. And this, since we do a creative job at the end, it looks like that eventually in the future products like this could lose a bit of personality and could change what makes iRacing what iRacing is, what Assetto Corsa is, and so on and so on.
Oh, you can say PMR. You can say PMR.
Sorry?
You can say PMR. Well, you can do it. Project Motor Racing.
PMR and Rennsport. Sorry. Project Motor Racing and Rennsport, yeah.
But you see it today. If you see a lot of studios using AI for localization, and if you see the text, it's for sure you feel it. It's not human.
Yeah.
So it's exactly what you said.
I have
And
my
this is-
guy there nodding his head, right, because somebody tried to do that and they got it all wrong.
It's not human.
Yeah, he's my little AI bot there, but he's actually giving out because, you know, oh, we could be using it, you're going to use AI to do it. And he's like, no, we have to do a lock pass because we're D1P, just like you. And it's because there's flavor in language as well that sometimes gets missed, especially when you try to translate.
I think he made a really good point, though, talking about the creative aspect. You know, if you look at large language models, it's everything that has been, but
Yeah.
it's not what will be. It's not innovating and moving forward. It's regurgitating in some different capacity. And when you're working in a creative space, what will be is what makes something special. It's where that passion comes from.
Yeah.
And so I agree, it is a tool. I may eat my words. I may be the guy that gets laid off over it. But I think it's really important to remember that it's not looking forward. It is what is based on what has already been.
Well, lads, that half an hour has absolutely flown by. I want to say thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you guys found it very interesting. We can have a little round of applause for our panelists here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Grazie.
Right, guys, we're going to be heading off for a very short break, and then we will have the finale of our Road to the Sim Expo final.
Blah, blah, blah.
Thank you.
Can you hear me anymore?
I can hear you,
okay.
but I don't know if they can hear you.
I have a question for the group of people here. I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I can.